I was having a conversation about T-Mac. Well, he got pulled into the conversation. I want to see let me see what y'all think. I know it's off topic, but we was talking about T-Mac. We was talking about Harden, even Nash. And what I mean by that, those three guys, when they left the teams that they were drafted by, they kind of like took off, right? T-Mac goes to Orlando and 2 scoring titles, he becomes T-Mac, right?
Right.
Harden leaves OKC, MVP, multiple scoring titles, just becomes the player that he is, right? Nash leaves Phoenix, gets picked up by Dallas, comes back to Phoenix, but now is back-to-back MVP.
Right.
My question for y'all is, and this might be a little far-fetched, but he's the type of player. Another guy, Gilbert. Gilbert leaves Golden State, comes over to Washington, becomes Hibachi. Does Jordan Poole have the ability to make the jump that I'm talking about with these guys, with where he's at in Washington?
Good question, bro.
Not saying he's gonna be the T-Mac, the Harden, the Gilbert. I'm saying, does he have the ability to make that jump, be a borderline all-star, average 25 a night? What do y'all think?
Well, let me respond to that first, because I'm a big Jordan Poole guy, and I've been saying it. Even though Steph Curry got the Finals MVP, which he deserved, the emergence of Jordan Poole and the great play of Wiggins is what got them there. Mm-hmm. All you need is opportunity. Jordan Poole was never going to get the opportunity to go to state because look who you got to play behind, which is legendary. Now that you get an opportunity to show your skill set, yes, I think Jordan Poole is going to be borderline all-star, and I think he's going to average 25. Yes, he can do that. I believe he can.
What you think, Don?
I think he can average. I think he's going to average around 23, 24 points a game. But I don't like those guys. He might be a star once or twice, but I don't know. This might sound harsh, but I see his ceiling. I don't think it should be harsh, but I think Jordan Poole's ceiling is like a Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams guy. Like just an instant bucket. Okay. I think he'll start, obviously. Those guys are known as sixth men. But I don't know. I feel like if Jordan Poole is your leading scorer, averaging 25, I don't see that team winning a lot. I don't know why. But maybe he changes the narrative on that.
Oh, hell. I agree.
But
McGrady, I don't think.
But the guy, like, he took teams to the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't see him being the lead guy and being able to make Washington a playing team, a playoff team. I don't think he's that polarized. They got Kuzma over there too. You know, Kuz ain't never seen a shot he don't like. So, I don't know what I know they're not going to be that good. I was just wondering what you think, Faye. Like, I know the guys that I named are like guys, but they weren't guys before that.
The way you framed that question was amazing because I like to tie it into what AllBall said. For T-Mac to be this overconfident in himself, because I was a T-Mac guy. When it was him versus Kobe, I had T-Mac and he disappointed me. So T-Mac is something personal with me, definitely. But he said when he got signed by Orlando, he did not expect to be that good. He himself. Yeah. He himself.
He did.
So maybe Jordan Poole is going to be humbled by this because what he lacks is maturity. That's clear as day. All the faces you're making to the ref, I understand what happened with Draymond Green and should deserve to get snuffed. I don't know if you deserve to get snuffed. But when you talk like that and you antagonize, you better learn that there is a reaction. So maybe this is also part of the reaction to being immature. You get traded by a championship caliber team to the wasteland of the Wizards. So I like what you said because all those guys, it's not the fact that clearly we have not seen James Harden, T-Mac, and who's the other guy? Steve Nash caliber leader of talent by Jordan Poole. We have yet to see that.
Right.
But why not leap in maturity? That could happen for you. Especially, remember, he has his father in his life. He has a lot going on that is unraveling now. Like, yo, these things can tie in. Like, yo, bro, we got you. If he had that system around him, I want to see him take a leap. Like, now that you say that, now I'm rooting for Jordan Poole, bro. I've never even thought about it like that.
Is it fair to put in question his maturity though, Fabian? And here why I'm asking. But here why I'm asking is because I just watched Klay Thompson on Paul George's podcast today, and Klay had nothing but good things to say about Jordan Poole. I've watched Steph Curry talk about Jordan Poole throughout the season. He has nothing but glowing things to say about Jordan Poole. I've listened to Steve Kerr talk about Jordan Poole. Has nothing but glowing things to say about the dude. But then, on the other hand, we hear how Draymond talks about him. We've heard. I don't know if y'all heard the story about how Damian Lillard feels about him.
Yeah.
There's an excerpt. I don't know if y'all saw that, but
I seen that. Yeah.
You know, Dame talks about not really feeling him
like
either.
him.
So when the upper echelon guys on your team are praising you, your coaches is praising you, a nigga that snuffed you and a dude that you competing with is not, I don't know how.
But hold on, Flea, stay there. How long has Jordan Poole been in the league now?
4 or 5 years, because he got that deal. So it was after the rookie deal was over.
He's the same year as RJ Barrett, same year as Zion and John Morant.
So
4 years, 4 or 5 years.
So all right, so going with what Flea just said, why doesn't he get the benefit of the doubt? Everybody else does. When they say, yo, this person is this young, he got to mature. Why he don't get the benefit of the doubt?
That's a good question. I think that has to do with locker room. Like you give a guy the benefit of the doubt because he's in the locker room with a Steph, with a Clay, with a Draymond. So you almost think maybe they're gonna grow up a little faster. While we think Kuminga and Moody, we still wait. Like these guys are supposed to be good by now because they're around these type of guys, around Iggy.
But to me, the difference with Jordan Poole, I love this conversation. The difference with Jordan Poole and them other guys, he produced on the court. Remember, we just talking about, like Fabian said, the immaturity. I'm saying, why not? Let's see what happened this year. I don't have no problem with the faces and all this and that. We're in a new era. Like these young kids nowadays, and like I said, why not give him the benefit of the doubt when everybody else make mistakes? What do we say? I don't want to throw out no names. I don't want to have that whole nother discussion. But when other guys make even worse mistakes, man, he young and this and that. Give Jordan Poole the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
And it's not just making the faces. It's the fact that you line it all up with everything else. Like you said, Flea, it's not just the upper echelon on his own team. They spoke about him, but I think Steph and Clay. Clay also came out and said other things about him too. He did say it was he fault. He went against that also.
He was completely honest. I didn't expect him to like talk out both sides of his mouth. I either thought he was going to take one position or the other. I hear what you're saying. He had good things to say, and he also spoke about, he could have been better in some other aspects. So
I didn't see the Paul George podcast. I'm talking about when we heard the Klay Thompson thing came out like 2 weeks ago. Like, he was talking mess, this, that, and the third. I'm just saying it's pretty consistent now with Jordan Poole that he was immature. You could argue about whether he deserved to get a punch in the face, whatever. But I don't think like how you act on the court, how you treat the refs. Draymond Green is still immature. Let's not get that twisted. But there are clearly factors for him on that team that lead to leadership, that he holds people accountable, holds himself accountable. Even when he messes up every other minute, he still holds himself accountable on some crazy bipolar mess. But Jordan Poole, we haven't seen that yet. It's just like I'm comparing that to how you compared Steve Nash and T-Mac and James Harden taking his next level up on the next team with their talent. This guy is all mental to me. And as a matter of fact, it was to them also. They were all mental mistakes that he's making in the basketball game.
I'm gonna say this for this gonna be my last time as far as with this. Flea, I love that you brought that up. Golden State made a mistake. I'm not saying they should have traded Draymond Green, but I think they made a mistake getting rid of Jordan Poole. He was the third best player on their team. Of course, it would be Wiggins, but like I said, with the problems and things of that nature. But we tend to forget how huge Jordan Poole was in that championship run they had a couple years ago. That kid is a bucket. I think they should have tried to figure out a way to fix that, or maybe they dodged the bullet because now you ain't got to give them all that money. But
they already had. Oh yeah, you're right.
They gave him the 140, but I'm saying now, like I said, you may have to extend them more. Remember,
it's off their books now. Yeah.
Right. But I think they made a mistake. I think that kid is, hey man, I'm just being honest. If you're a bucket and you can play and you can shoot the three, and that's what the game is today, I think you don't get rid of guys like that. I think Golden State made a mistake, and this is why the dynasty thing is over for them, bro. It's over.
Because what shot creators do they have now?
It's over.
Who's gonna create a shot aside from Steph? Who's gonna go create a shot, Don?
Well, they want Chris Paul to get him good shots.
That's cool. That sounds good.
No, they don't.
But you know,
Yes,
in this
what else do they
league
bring him in
now,
for?
right? But you know, in this league now, you got to have 2, maybe 3 guys that could get it off the bounce. That could go create something.
That besides Steph, I'm telling you. Well, that's why I agree with AllBall that they're not gonna win the championship again. But I think in terms of the mistake thing, I think it was past repair, and I think that they tried to put on a front all season that it was all good, but clearly it wasn't good.
Yeah, y'all saw that comment from Fish. Did y'all read that?
Poole was not built for defenses to game plan him. Kerr benched the starters last year in multiple games to see if he was ready. He wasn't.
But apparently he averaged 25 points as a starter. All the Warriors fans keep saying that.
Yeah, when Steph was down, he
exactly. But see, I think the problem is his role kept changing, and he went from last year before Clay came back to starting a bunch of games, and they were off to a crazy start. And then he was like, "Okay, I'll sacrifice for the team by coming off the bench when Clay comes back," and it wasn't that much left in the season. They were already in a rhythm. But then remember when Steph came off the bench to start that Denver Nuggets series last year, that was like if Steph's not complaining about coming off the bench, then you better not be complaining when he's coming off the bench. And they were able to make it work for that run. But I think throughout the whole season, Poole probably feels he's better than Clay now. I think in his mind he feels he is. And Klay Thompson.
I disagree with that. I don't think Poole thinks that. And let me respond to what Fish said just real quick. Let's not forget, I'm not going to hold last season against Jordan Poole. It was real problems in the locker room. Yeah, so I'm not going to hold that against him. Is it an excuse? No, you still got to go out and perform. But you on a team with a guy you really don't like and got real beef with. So I'm not going to hold that against him. That young man is nice. He can play. We've seen when he gets the opportunities what he can do. So I don't see why he can't go to Washington and flourish. I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to put up big numbers. I really do.
Yeah, I think Fish is more stuck on last season, like you said.
Last
than
season
the season
was
before that.
Last season was tough for him. And as expected, you know what I'm saying? As expected, you coming into a season where the season starts. Y'all coming off winning the championship, and we quickly forget about that because now a video comes out that y'all had an altercation. So
that's a great point. That's a great point. To go from a high like that, and remember, you got Pat Riley always talks about the back-to-back. That second season of a back-to-back trying to repeat is tougher than trying to win the championship. You have that pressure on you, and then you have the ultimate drop-off with an event like that. Even if they didn't make it public, I can't see them getting over that. Him getting over that. There's no way. I don't care what Draymond is talking about.
But you shouldn't. I don't blame him for not getting over that. I'm just saying I'm not going to hold last season against him. Like I said, let's see. Now, if this season come up and he doesn't perform, then y'all got me. I Fish, Flea, then I got to say, yo, man, I was wrong. But like I said, up until whatever happens in Washington, I'm not holding last season against him. I'm not doing that.
I see that kid. I see that kid making a huge jump. That's why I asked y'all, because I just feel personally I could see him, over 22 points a game next year, shooting high percentages, just being a guy that once February comes around, people going to be like, oh, Jordan Poole might be an all-star. We don't know. I think that's going to be the conversation around this kid this coming season for sure.
And he hasn't had, what better way to start off your career than with a championship team? And then you have Steph Curry, Clay, even Draymond, say what you want about him, Steve Kerr, just all that basketball wisdom around you. And now you left that. But that never leaves you. You're going to be in Washington, and none of them guys, even Kuzma has had that with the Lakers. With some so when you ask that question, that's what I'm saying. Steve Nash, James Harden, or T-Mac, none of these guys were leading into their next team with that education pulled into their brain.
That's very true. I just think, and I agree with that. That was the point that I had made somewhere else, that both those guys came from winning locker rooms. I don't know if we could say LA was a winning culture because they just won that one championship, but it's a winning, they're
LeBron James.
Right.
And Rondo.
Exactly, Dom. So it's winning culture. And then you come from Golden State, who has, that dynastic, feel around it still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you carry that to a new team, but you also carry that into a new team as a 25, however old Kuz is. He's 26, 27. Like, they still fairly young guys, and they're not as good as the guys that I mentioned, T-Mac,
Right.
Nash, who else did I name? Harden. You know what I'm saying?
And Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert. They're not that good yet to now take Washington to another level. So that's the only reason I disagree, with what you're saying, Fabian. But
Gilbert Arenas, that's the guy he would have to look at. Because Gilbert Arenas, he went to the rack and he would finish. That was the difference, like what Fish is saying. He would still finish kind of tough, but he also mastered that pull-up. Like Gilbert Arenas was one of the first guys to really usher in the whole, come down the lane and just stop on a dime and pop a three out of nowhere. So Jordan Poole would be, but I think that would be his, because again, like I said, it was too much razzle dazzle. I think he leaned too much into that.
And Gil ain't do a bunch of winning in Washington either. I mean, they were in the
but he
playoffs,
did lead them to the playoffs 3 straight years. Even though I'm not
I thought they were tough, bro. I remember Gilbert Arenas and Gilbert Arenas was also immature.
Yes.
Like, let's not forget, like, he was starting his whole blog era and he was going crazy too. He was be online talking ridiculous. So Jordan Poole is not like that's the guy he should give a call to, as wild as Gilbert Arenas is. And again, to the Wizards. They both getting traded from the Golden State Warriors to the Wizards.
Crazy.
That's an excellent comparison. I'm telling you,
that
was you hit it on the nose.
That piece too.
So, that's something we're gonna look out for.
I'm glad we